occurring in adjoining counties. They're leaving, the crimes are leaving our citizens dead and our families mourning for the loss of their family members. As I look into cases occurring here, many of the perpetrators are found to be from outside and the surrounding counties to Alamance County, where many of these individuals have extensive criminal records and should not be walking our streets. In my professional opinion, our criminal justice system failed to protect our citizens prior to the arrest being made in this case, and I'm about to address that particular case with the media. Our latest case being a robbery and murder of Mr. Gene Williams III, 25 years old, and he's deceased. His address was 2233 Durham Street Extension in Burlington, North Carolina. In the early morning hours of Monday, January 2021, Alamance County had its first homicide of the year. 3 individuals went to the residence of Mr. Williams where he was living. They were 3 residences side by side, and all of them were connected. The 3 individuals went to that residence after going through social media and seeing that Mr. Williams had some firearms for sale. Contact was made, and 3 individuals from High Point, North Carolina, came to supposedly purchase some of these weapons. The firearms was advertised, as I said, on social media. Contact was made. One of the 3 individuals, while at the residence, asked to see one of the firearms, which was a loaded Glock 9mm. When that firearm was presented to the individuals, the shooter, one of the suspects later identified as Isaac Jermaine Weatherby IV, 19 years old, took the 9mm pistol, racked it back and forth looking at it, and turned around and shot our victim numerous times, and then shot at other possible witnesses in the house. Luckily, none was hurt. The individuals identified, the witnesses identified 3 black male suspects driving a dark blue or black Nissan Altima. That was called into our Alamance Communications Center, and the information was given to them, and they immediately put that information out to the other law enforcement agencies in Alamance County and surrounding area. Luckily, the suspect vehicle was spotted on University Drive in Elon College, North Carolina by the Elon Police Department. And they followed the vehicle along with an officer from the Gibsonville Police, maintaining contact with Central Communications, giving them their location and where they were proceeding. As a result of that, information was also put out by our cars to the Guilford County, Greensboro law enforcement agencies. The 2 cars, one from Elon, one from Gibsonville, followed the suspect vehicle until crossing into Guilford County, where the pursuit was taken over by the Guilford County Sheriff's Office. And the high-speed chase and pursuit continued on to and into Greensboro and on to Vandalia Road in Guilford County, where Greensboro PD also got involved in the chase. The Guilford County Sheriff's Office deployed the spikes. The vehicle was disabled. Once the vehicle was disabled, the 3 suspects jumped out of the vehicle and tried to flee on foot, but were apprehended shortly thereafter. Arrested and charged in this case was Isaac Jermaine Weatherby IV, black male, 19 years old, 723 Haversham Road in High Point, North Carolina. He was the shooter. And I would like to say this to you and to the citizens of Alamance County. This man has an extensive criminal record, and on this occasion, when arrested, had a fresh gunshot wound, not coming from this particular case, but was bandaged up. We don't know where that come from, but you can bet there was another violent act somewhere for this man to be shot. Secondly, and he was charged with felony first-degree murder, felony robbery with a dangerous weapon, and felony larceny of a firearm. Second individual that was a driver of the vehicle was Carlos Demetrius Robert Rogers, black male, 19. His address was 808 Putnam Street, High Point, North Carolina. He was charged with felony conspiracy to commit robbery with a dangerous weapon and accessory after the fact of first-degree murder. A passenger in the car was a juvenile of 17 years old. He was also from High Point, North Carolina. He was charged on a juvenile petition at this point with felony conspiracy to commit robbery with a dangerous weapon. All of these individuals are from the 9-trade gang out of High Point and has been looked at extensively, according to our information, by the High Point Police Department. What is so upsetting to me is that these individuals are coming into Alamance County and preying upon our citizens. We are looking at further investigation, maybe possibly other charges. But that is up in the air at this time. I would like to thank all the agencies involved for their assistance in this terrible crime. I ask the public to keep the Williams family in their thoughts and prayers. We are looking, and we have our district attorney here today, for vigorous prosecution, and believe me, I think that will come. There's no question in my mind. This time I would like to turn the press conference over to our district attorney, Mr. Sean Button.
Good afternoon. In 2020, Alamance County had 11 first-degree murder cases charged, with at least one still under investigation. The most recent homicide, and the first of 2021, sets the total number of pending first-degree murder cases in Alamance County at 31. Including second-degree and other homicide charges cases, the total number is 41. Like everything else currently, these numbers have been impacted by the pandemic. The COVID-related court shutdowns and restrictions resulted in 28 weeks of lost jury trial sessions in 2020 alone. And with the current shutdown, the total has risen to 30 weeks. Despite these obstacles, both law enforcement and prosecutors have nevertheless been working outside of court to prepare these cases for trial. And when we inevitably take them to trial, we intend to schedule them as soon and as quickly as we are able. We already have some tentatively scheduled for trial this spring. But even our best efforts on behalf of crime victims offers little solace to citizens whose lives may not have yet been touched by violent crime, but who live in a perpetual state of unrest because of criminal activity in their neighborhood. Activity that has not been reported and is unknown to law enforcement. Of the people currently charged with some form of non-vehicular murder in Alamance County, 40% were 21 years or younger at the time of the crime, and 55% were under 25 years of age. Other defendants, such as the ones in the current case in this recent homicide, were not from Alamance County. In short, either because of their age or because of their lack of connection to the county, law enforcement often has no prior knowledge of or opportunity to investigate these offenders until something tragic occurs. So how do we fight what we may not know about? First, let's state unequivocally what we're fighting for. Every person in Alamance County, regardless of where you live, deserves the benefits and protections of the justice system. You have a right to live and work in peace and enjoy the fruits of your labor free from violence, harassment, and fear. I believe that the vast majority of citizens are ready to do what they can to protect these rights. Every person, whether they realize it or not, possesses valuable knowledge about his or her neighborhood and is in an important position to help make it safer. This is why I support Alamance County Crime Stoppers. Contrary to popular belief, Crime Stoppers does more than offer rewards to solve cases. It gives people the ability to safely and anonymously fight crime in their own neighborhoods by reporting criminal activity there. To many good citizens, keeping their family safe is a reward in itself. Crime Stoppers allows for people to not only submit tips to assist open investigations, but to submit tips of previously unknown or undetected criminal activity to shine a light on people, places, or actions that jeopardize their family. People can report suspected criminal activity in their neighborhood by calling Crime Stoppers at 336-229-7100 or by going to their website, alamanccs.org, or by downloading and using the P3 Tips app. You can download that at p3tips.com. And I would encourage you to download the app and learn all you can about it. These tips are directed to your local law enforcement agency for action. You can also help our local Crime Stoppers by donating to the organization and ensuring their ability to continue offering rewards in unsolved cases. I will be posting this information on my Facebook page so that you can have this information. And in the new year, we will be doing more to inform the citizens about how they can effectively help fight crime in this county. They do not have to be reactive to crime. Citizens in this county deserve to be protected, and they can be proactive in helping law enforcement fight crime that they may not otherwise know about. So thank you for this opportunity to get that message out.
This time, are there any questions from the media? Yes.
You mentioned that Isaac Weathersby has an extensive criminal record. Could you talk about what he's been charged with in the past?
Yes, ma'am. I can tell you, if you'll go to Davidson County Clerk of I can't give you this copy. I would love to give you this copy of the FBI record. But Davidson County and Guilford County, numerous serious charges, several felony charges.
Any
And,
convictions? Or
what now?
any convictions or just pending charges?
No, there's plenty of convictions. I would classify him as a habitual felon.
May I speak to that?
So
Yes,
let's
sir.
start
Be
with
glad
the
to.
Department of Correction.
The Department of Corrections website, which I checked the night we were doing the investigation, Mr. Weathersby has been convicted of felonious larceny from the person, been convicted of felonious break and entering, has been convicted of assault with a deadly weapon on a law enforcement officer, or rather assault with a deadly weapon on a government official, and other felony charges. I got this information from the Department of Corrections offender information site, so that's what I'm relying on, but in each of those cases, those were the larceny from the person was a separate incident from the felony B&E, which was a separate incident from the assault with a deadly weapon charge. So depending on the timing of these offenses, it is possible that he is a habitual felon. If he is an habitual felon, and the evidence will allow us to pursue that, we will pursue that.
Thank you, Mr. District Attorney. I would suggest going on the website or going to the clerk's office in those areas, because he has, he's not a new person to the criminal justice system, I can tell you that. Also, the second 19-year-old has a criminal record, but I do not believe he is a habitual or felon. Yes, sir.
Samir with ABC 45. So obviously social media was used in this incident. So I guess what kind of tips or advice do you have for individuals? Obviously with Facebook Marketplace, such applications growing in popularity, I guess are there any safety tips that you think the public should know about when using those type of applications?
Well, let me say this. We are experiencing a lot of our crimes that are occurring here in this county right now are coming from outside of Alamance County. I'm going to say this, we hope they'll stop coming, but if they don't, we're going to do everything we possibly can within the law to pursue these individuals, to work with all the surrounding county to see that these individuals are apprehended while doing their criminal activity. As a matter of fact, today I was in Greensburg, Guilford County, meeting with sheriffs, Orange County, Durham County, Guilford County, and the U.S. Attorney's Office, and we are going to put together a task force to go after these type individuals. Because what's happening here, a lot of these individuals are coming in, making a lick or committing a crime and going back to other counties. And we catch some here. In the drug traffic, a lot of times the drugs come from these other counties, and there's a lot of violence in the drug traffic. Comes here, but there's a lieutenant, say, here that handles the drugs. We catch him, but we never get the big guy. We never get the armed criminals. We never get those individuals that's running across the line, committing crimes, and going back. We intend to pursue them with all means that we have, and I think we have a prosecutor in this county that will try them if we make good cases. Yes, sir.
Brent Patterson, WFMY News 2. Do you have any ballistics information from the weapon that was used that could link it to anything else?
That's a good question. No, but we are running ballistics, the kniving, and seeing if we recovered a weapon underneath the near the house, underneath the deck, that had to be one of the individuals. But we're trying to find out the kniving if they've been used in any other homicides, any other firing into occupied dwellings, any other crimes whatsoever. So that's a good question. Thank you for asking it. Any other questions?
And then just to follow up, so you mentioned something along the lines of the criminal justice system kind of failing. So I guess what do you think could have been done or proactively taken to kind of fix the brokenness of the system?
Well, I think what happens a lot of times, and it's certainly I'm looking at Mr. Weatherby's criminal record. I think he was given break after break after break. That I've never seen that done in Alamance County. I'll just be honest with you. I've been in law enforcement 49 years. But when you have an individual that keeps getting breaks, they get braver and braver and enhance the crimes that they commit. Right now, if he had been dealt with the way I feel like, and this is just me talking now, that he should have been dealt with, he wouldn't have been able to shoot our victim in this case. He had been in prison.
So then are you asking for, I guess, stricter, regulations or punishments?
Do what now?
Are you asking for stricter punishments then?
Absolutely.
For the offenders?
In cases such as that this man has been involved in, absolutely. And certainly, any time that you kill someone, and I think our district attorney, I think, will handle that sufficiently.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Weathersby shot Mr. Williams?
Do what now?
Why Weathersby shot the victim?
That is sort of getting into some of the evidentiary stuff,
Okay.
but I can say this, they went there to get the guns.
Okay. And they didn't want to pay for them, or is that?
That's pretty good,
Okay.
pretty good deduction.
But they didn't know each other. They basically.
At this
picked
point in
guy
time,
up.
no, certainly the victim and Weathersby and the other two did not know each other. We're trying to find out right now if someone that lived in the area may have known these individuals, but we have no evidence of that at this time.
And the weapons that were for sale, they were legitimately obtained, and did Mr. Williams have weapons that he legitimately obtained?
We're running everything through the ATF and NIBIN at this time of every weapon that was there that we took.
Okay.
At this point, that's all I can say. Yes, sir.
You mentioned the suspects being involved with the 9 Trey
Yes, sir.
gang. How did y'all come to that conclusion? Were there tattoos or anything on social media?
No, sir. High Point, North Carolina has validated, there's certain things to validate a gang member, has validated 2 older members, and the younger one is certainly, I guess say, trying to be with the Trey gang. They are validated. The 2 19-year-olds that were charged are validated gang members, and if I've been told by High Point, if it comes to trial and they need to get on the stand and talk about the validation, they will certainly be able to do that, because they were in their eyes. They were watching these individuals at that point in time, and they just snuck over here and done what they done.
Follow up on that. Was the High Point Police Department, pursuing them for any other crimes that you know of?
I'd rather not comment on that at this time. Any other questions? Please, get the message out, media. We need all the help we can get. As our district attorney said, any tips, don't care if they're anonymous, we need information. If we've got other gang members coming into town that a neighbor of someone that the gang members visiting may see these individuals, please notify us, because they are connections. We're seeing a lot of connections to gang here in Alamance County coming in from the outside area. We know we have some gang members here in Alamance County, and a lot of firearms, a lot of drugs is being handled by these gang members. Any other questions? I would like to thank the media for coming, and please get the message out. We need all the help that we can get today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, Mr. District Attorney. Media, again, I appreciate you being here this afternoon. Thank you for taking time out of your day to cover this very, very important issue. If there's any way I can help you further, please do not hesitate to call me. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you all so very much.
So at the beginning of your presentation, you said that there were 31 total first-degree murders, and but in 2020,